So the A final for X30 Senior. It's Otto Paikkonen, the Flying Finn, joined by Oscar Gouchot alongside. It's Finland versus France. It's an all-Dutch row 2 with Kevin Lantinga and Sam van der Heijden. France and Belgium on row 3, Clément Outron and Yanni Bouillet. It's the youngster from the Netherlands, Devin Hagland, who's got the stalwart Matthias van der Kerkhoff from Belgium alongside on row 4. All Belgian, row 5 completing the top 10, Charlie Gloom and Victor Louis. Watch out for them this race. Niels Lelor and also the very fast and feisty Mathis Michaud ran at row 6. Marcus Gloom and the Irishman Robbie Buckley, who stormed the castle, so to speak, picking up the last qualifying heat win, ran at row 7. Henki Counterin and Francois Delisy find themselves in the mid-pack alongside Clément Massot, Lucas Horsika, Wouter Bergenot and Ava Dorrestein, who completes the top 20. And all Swiss, row 11 with Ron Panes and Marlon Bayer, Roxanne Lantinga, Florent Dirda, Milan Marczak, Tobias Norman, Julian Sorvio, Jarno Hermans, Alessandro Tudiska and Roberto Bars ran out the top 30. Mirko Wouters, Jules Van Hul, Angelo Milly, Maxime Prudent, Maxime Blanchiment, and last but by certainly no means least from Belgium, the 277 of Fares Jalil completes the capacity grid. We now go on to the official formation lap. The humidity has increased, so has the ambient air temperature. Drivers will have waited possibly to this point, one of which I know will be Roxanne Lantinga, who said the front tyres have been fine around here at Genk, but the backs have been absolutely destroyed. So expect drivers like her, like Ava Dorrestein, to punch their way through the grid as we are making our way through turn number 9. The drivers getting the additional bit of temperature into the tyres, checking the steering, making sure that everything is in working order. And then past a certain point, they have to stop weaving on the circuit. They cannot overtake past the red line of no return, which is just adjacent to the entry to the pit lane. So grab your cold beverage of choice, have your popcorn on standby as things have changed. New championship leader after dramas for Luca Lystra, who will be starting in the top 15 in the B final coming up next. But it's Paikkonen versus Gouchot versus Lantinga. Van der Heijden, Outron, Bouillet. They are slowing to a crawl as the field gets itself set and under starters' orders. The red lights are on the gantry. As for the first time this weekend in the finals, we go revs up. Lights are out, we're underway, and it's a good start by Paikkonen from the front row on pole position. Outron to the outside. Lantinga looking to get through as it's 3 wide just behind the top 2 as they go through around the runoff area. There's one on top of another at the back end of the field. Looks to be a TB car and possibly a CRG, not too sure. However, and we've got someone slowing coming out of turn number 3. But les grandes bagarres se commencent à tête de la course ici par la finale A, X30 Senior.
On est parti pour cette première des 4 finales et un départ un petit peu chahuté pour certains des concurrents, notamment dans la deuxième partie du peloton. En tête, ça se passe plutôt bien pour notre poleman, Otto Paikkonen, gare à la charge de la part de Clément Outran. Il a perdu d'ailleurs sur de bien mauvaise manière une victoire potentielle qui aurait pu être sa pole position lors de sa dernière manche. Il aura soif de revanche, évidemment, le pilote français. Un premier tour de bouclé, il en aura une quinzaine au total à parcourir ici sur le karting de Genk. Otto Paikkonen ne s'est pas laissé démonter dans ce premier tour. Depuis la pole position, il a gardé l'avantage devant Kevin Lantinga. Sam van der Heijden qui s'est glissé en 3e position devant Matthias van der Kerkhoff, Clément Outran 5, Oscar Gouchot, le grand perdant sous le premier tour. Il n'est que 6e au drapeau juste après ce premier tour et ça se bat en tête avec le 2,83 qui vient de prendre l'avantage. Non, c'est Paikkonen qui vient de perdre l'avantage, devrais-je dire, derrière Kevin Lantinga. Changement de leader dès le 2e tour. Lantinga, le nouveau leader provisoire de la IAME Series Benelux en senior, qui de suite prend le commandement des hostilités. Il n'est pas ici pour faire évidemment compléter ce peloton, il est là pour faire la différence et il est occupé à le démontrer. Le premier leader de ce deuxième tour n'est autre que le pilote néerlandais. Lantinga en tête, Paikkonen juste derrière, Van der Heijden qui suit, Van der Kerkhoff, Outran, Gouchot, Bouillet, Engelen, Victor Louis, Mathis Meurskoot. Un nouveau tour de bouclé. Et tous à la poursuite du pilote néerlandais dès le virage numéro 1. Ça passe à l'intérieur. Sam van der Heijden. Non pas 1, non pas 2, mais justement 2 pilotes en un seul tentative. Magnifique de la part de Sam van der Heyden, leader juste à l'entame du tour suivant.
Oh, that was beautiful. It was the buy one, get one free special for Sam van der Heyden from the Netherlands. Being assisted by Kai Rilitz, actually, who's helping the team here, whilst the rest of the team are running in the Deutsche Cup-Meisterschaft this weekend, currently underway at Circuit Ampfing in Germany. But Matthias van der Kerkhoff has made up 4 places, started on the outside of row number 4, but Sam van der Heyden with an audacious but brilliantly executed overtake to now have the race lead. But we still have 2 crop promotion karts in the top 3, as it will be Kevin Lantinga versus Otto Paikkonen. And we literally had Gouchot and Bouillet side by side, and that was a dive and a half from Matthias van der Kerkhoff getting through on Otto Paikkonen. And there is Clément Outran. You found out from the team at Dream Racing that he actually had grass on the circuit, and that's what caused him to spin around and go backwards at turn 6. Meantime, up and down the order, there is change afoot. All 36 runners and riders are still on the circuit from what I believe. So fastest lap of the race, Henki Counter, and the man with now Team Corner, currently with on 55.480. Matthias Manschalt did say to me, well, I might have a little bit of a chance here. He's currently running in P9 ahead of Henki Counter, who's now completing the top 10. But at the moment, it is Sam van der Heyden from the Netherlands for the Sim-On Hout Racing team that leads the way. He's concentrating his efforts on a Yamaha Series Benelux for the rest of the championship campaign. But Henki Counter now past Devon Haglen, and Michel's got through into 8th, but there's also a bit of a duel in the mid-pack. And that's Bouillet, Louis and Michel battling over what is 7th position on the road. And they have got just in front of them, I think that's Clément Outran, isn't it?
Il y a Clément Outran qui s'est fait passer, mais par Yanis Bouillet, que c'est serré dans le virage numéro 6. On va y revenir. Une demi-seconde entre les 2 leaders pendant ce temps-là. Sam van der Heyden, Kevin Lantinga en tête, poursuivi par Matthias van der Kerkhoff désormais en 3e place. 4e position, Otto Paikkonen. Ça va être serré à tous les étages, à n'en pas douter. Des pilotes Team Fusion Motorsport, ça se passe plus loin derrière. On a Mathis Norskott, Henki Kalteren qui remonte 6 places jusqu'au 9e rang devant Devon Hagelen. Clément Outran était en pleine bagarre là-bas aussi avec Yanis Bouillet pour le gain de la 5e place. Avec Outran qui se maintient dans le top 5. Bouillet juste devant. Mathis Norskott qui a pris l'avantage sur Victor Louis et Henki Kalteren. Devon Hagelen qui suit derrière. À vous mentionner aussi, malheureusement, il était parmi les pilotes qui n'ont pas connu le départ qu'ils espéraient. C'est Clément Massot qui a dégringolé dans la hiérarchie, tout comme Robbie Buckley qui avait remporté la dernière manche, alors que derrière, ça se secoue un petit peu. Victor Louis, le 216 là-bas, en pleine bagarre avec Henki Kalteren, son ancien équipier du team RSD. Guérin pas se mettre au tas évidemment, mais il y a eu une légère touchette à la sortie du virage numéro 5 sur l'Europalan.
And Kalteren's made the move. Haglen's waiting in the wings, so Victor Louis drops to 9th place. Meantime, at the front end of the field. Well, let's just say that Matthias van der Kerkhoff is the victory lane meet between a crop promotion sandwich at the moment, because he's got Lantinga in front, Paikkonen behind him. But in the meantime, Sam van der Heyden really picking up the pace. Paikkonen has just gone purple across the board and sets a new fastest lap of the race, 55.033. And there goes van der Kerkhoff through at turn 1, lap 7 on Kevin Lantinga. So the change is afoot. It's about who wants to be top dog going to the halfway point of the season. Bearing in mind, we've had probably the best part of a 2-month break between Ostrico and here. And it's a 3. And Mr. Alvarez, what have you spotted?
Luca Orsica, unfortunately, is going to have to retire from this race. Abandon pour le 327. Le pilote tchèque Luca Orsica qui s'est lancé depuis le milieu du peloton depuis la 18e place. Et malheureusement, il vient de rentrer précipitamment dans la pit lane. Abandon pour Luca Orsica. Alors que les leaders reviennent devant notre position. Van der Heyden, Lantinga, Van der Kerkhoff toujours en 3e position. Otto Paikkonen qui se rapproche très fort, peut-être profiteur de l'aspiration dans la ligne droite de départ et d'arrivée. Et changement, il plonge à la corde Otto Paikkonen. Superbement fait sur Kevin Lantinga. Paikkonen 3e, Lantinga 4 désormais. Van der Kerkhoff qui est passé également en 2e position. Et voilà, ça commence un petit peu à s'échanger tout doucement à la poursuite dans le même objectif, la victoire pour l'instant dans les mains de Sam van der Heyden. La lutte sera dure et elle va encore durer 8 longues minutes, l'équivalent de 8 boucles du karting de Genk.
we could be on course for 3 different winners. Aaron Garcia Lopez for CV Performance Group, who made a one-off appearance at the season opener in preparation for the season opener of the Deutsche Meisterschaft this year, took the win in the final, in the A final back at Marienburg. Last time out at Austricourt in the wet, completely sideways, was the man that currently now leads the championship, runs in P for Kevin Lantinga. So at the moment, Luca Leicester will lose the lead. Lantinga at the moment will still more than likely hold on to that lead, but then when you think about it, Matthias van der Kerkhoff, 263 points coming into this round of the championship. Sam van der Heyden 4th in the standings, Clément Outran 7th, Yanni Bouillet down in 12th, Mathis Merscholz, he's a long way down, he's 27th, he had a 0 score. He didn't get through to the A final, he got through to the B final, but we've got a 5-second time penalty for pushing and causing a collision. That is driver 353, and it's one of the Danish brothers, it's Tobias Norman that's going to cop that penalty. But Sam van der Heyden is comfortably ahead, but we still have 5 minutes and 50 seconds plus an additional lap to go. The chase is still on, so there's an opportunity here for Van der Kerkhoff and also Paikkonen, who coming into this round was 8th in the championship standings after the opening 2 rounds at Marienburg and Austricourt. So the ball is not quite rolling yet, but when we get to coming back here in 3 weeks' time, Gigs, for these drivers, it is going to be game on, let them fight out on track, and there's going to be no papaya orders, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely no. There's like a big rehearsal for round 4 coming up mid-August. As we were wondering who might have been the driver who cut across the track in the process of the start, it was Alessandro Tudisca, unfortunately, the 265, who lost a pile of places. He had no other choice but to cut the track in half. He's still 28 into that race, but certainly not the weekend he had been expected. He had been expecting coming here. Alessandro Tudisca, dont vous l'avez entendu malheureusement, qui fut le pilote qui a dû aller jouer les tourneuses à gazon là-bas lors de la procédure de départ. Il n'avait pas d'autre endroit où aller mettre les roues tout simplement, ce qui lui a fait perdre bon nombre de positions. Et donc à conclusion d'un week-end qui fut certainement fait de haut et de bas pour le sympathique pilote belge. Pendant ce temps-là, eh bien, l'écart augmente, chers amis, à 4 minutes 31 tours entre Sam van der Heyden et Matthias van der Kerkhoff. Van der Kerkhoff sous la pression de Otto Paikkonen, qui fut le grand animateur de la classe senior depuis l'entame du week-end, avec quasiment le maximum de points au terme des manches, j'allais dire presque le maximum de victoires. Il en avait chopé 3 pour 2 deuxièmes places. Pourrait-il éventuellement monter sur la plus haute marche de ce podium? Il va devoir se défaire de Matthias van der Kerkhoff, très solide. Sans cette casse mécanique lors de sa première manche, Van der Kerkhoff aurait peut-être pu faire la passe de 5 victoires en autant de manches, et pourquoi pas s'élancer depuis la pole. Ce serait peut-être lui qui mènerait pour l'instant, mais ce n'est pas le cas. C'est Sam van der Heyden, et il a encore quelques mètres à aller chercher pour éventuellement essayer de le bousculer. L'écart qui se stabilise, il ne faiblit pas pour l'instant. Van der Kerkhoff se protège, alors que derrière, c'est Clément Outran qui revient. Ça va être intéressant, mon cher Alex. Outran qui se défait de Kevin Lantinga pour la 4e place. Il a un peu de champ devant lui. Et si ces deux-là fonctionnent un peu avec leur tête aussi, comme c'est souvent le cas, ils vont pouvoir se porter mutuellement vers l'avant. L'écart est conséquent avec le top 3. Mais il y a encore une petite chance, pourquoi pas, d'aller chercher ce podium s'il ne s'attaque pas, s'il reste dans les mêmes chronos et s'il se pousse vraiment vers l'avant pour peut-être faire la connexion avec Otto Paikkonen, qui perd du temps derrière Matthias van der Kerkhoff.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity for Clément Outran. He's now got clear air in front of him. There's a gap of around a good second between 3rd and 4th position. And yeah, real shame there for Alessandro Tudisca. I mean, it's sort of, he was on the back foot from the minute his dad forgot to fit the exhaust to the cart. And I remember in the interview he said, he was talking to you and he said, merci papa, thanks dad. It does happen. Mistakes do get made, but there's also a little bit of a battle with the likes of Yanni Bouillet. I think has just been passed by Mathis Merscholz and possibly Henki Kalteren. Yes, and Kalteren dives up the inside of Merscholz through at turn 5. So they've got Yanni Bouillet just behind them. Oscar Guccio, Victor Louis rounds out your top 10, but there is still plenty of things happening. The top 15 rounded out by Ava Dotterstein, best lady of the Yamis Series Benelux 2024 and 2023, currently rounding out the top 15. They are covered by just under 9.1 seconds. And the total field up to 34th covered by 26.4 seconds. I've seen it, I think, if I remember correctly, one race, X30 Junior GP played at Kart Masters, won by Oliver Gray from Dan Holland Racing. The entire field were covered by 10 seconds after a 15-minute plus an additional lap Grand Prix plate-winning extravaganza. Of course, some of the drivers from the Yarmouth Series Benelux will be heading over to the home of British karting next week for the one-off event, which happens once every year. So this is also a bit of a tune-up race, not just for the remainder of the season, but for other events where the Europeans are now going over to fight the British on British home soil. And that, for me, as a commentator and a fan of karting as well and general motorsport, is an exciting proposition, because there are so many of the drivers that are going over there from this paddock and they're saying, we're really looking forward to it. But meantime, Sem van der Heyden has been on consummate cruise control. He has decided, right, I'm going to get away from everybody. And it's a bit like we've seen with a lot of the heats earlier on this week, where one driver has done enough, but not too much to overstretch the tyres, overdrive the karts, as we're heading into our second from last lap. So this plus 2 more to go. Sem van der Heyden on course to becoming our third different winner in the A final this season.
If I'm not too mistaken, but I would need confirmation from the man himself, I think, looking at my archives for the past few seasons, that this could be potentially the first ever win of Sem van der Heyden in the IMA Series Benelux. But I'll ask the man himself just to make sure, but that's certainly the highest and the best weekend performance in the final we've seen of him for a long time. And what better place to do that than Genk. Sem van der Heyden avec quelques secondes qui s'égrènent. On est parti pour 2 tours encore jusqu'au drapeau à damier. Et avec 7 dixièmes d'avance pour Sem van der Heyden sur Matthias van der Kerkhove. Trop occupé à tenter de résister au retour de Otto Paikkonen pour éventuellement faire la connexion avec le leader. Eh bien, ça pourrait bien être un succès. Pourquoi pas le premier à ce niveau dans la catégorie senior pour Sem van der Heyden dans le cadre de la IMA Series Benelux. On n'en est pas encore là, évidemment. Il reste un tour et demi à couvrir et à tenir pour van der Heyden. Van der Kerkhove et Paikkonen pour l'instant sur le podium qui sera célébré, on vous le rappelle, sur le coup de 18h devant le bâtiment principal du karting Genk. Nous avons Clément Outran qui tente de faire la connexion, mais il lui manque encore 1 seconde 4 pour tenter éventuellement d'aller secouer Otto Paikkonen. Donc autant dire un énorme avantage, autant dire une mer de dixième de seconde à tenter de traverser. Et j'ai bien peur qu'il n'aura pas suffisamment de temps entre les mains pour faire cette connexion. Lui qui doit résister aussi au retour de Kevin Lantinga potentiellement. Lantinga sans doute, alors qu'il est désormais le leader du championnat provisoire. Sans doute un petit peu déçu de la manière dont sa finale aura tourné. Certainement pas à son avantage. Il se voyait certainement sur la plus haute marge du podium. Il devra se contenter d'un top 5. Alors que nous sommes dans le dernier tour. Et cet homme, Sem van der Heyden, le numéro 247, en passe de l'emporter ici pour cette 3e manche 2025 du championnat de Belgique.
4th after the intermediate classification. But he has definitely made sure that he is going to be one to reckon with this season. Came in to this third weekend of the championship season, 4th in the standings. 3 corners to go, and it's going to be a pretty good victory. It's going to be a maiden victory, not just for Sim On Hout Racing Team, but out of the final corner, it's Sem van der Heyden that wins the final in X30 Senior Final A. You cannot deny after 17 laps that the Dutchman has done it. Great work there by Sem van der Heyden. Kept himself in contention, and I'm sure that news will be related to Kartbahn Ampfing very, very shortly to the rest of the team. Sem van der Heyden becomes the 3rd different A Final X30 Senior winner of the year in 2025. Last time out, it was Kevin Lantinga. The season opener, it was Aaron Garcia Lopez from Spain. Sem van der Heyden will be a very happy man. He wins by 0.7 of a second ahead of Matthias van der Kerkhoff. Otto Paikkonen rounds out the top 3 ahead of Clément Outran and Kevin Lantinga, who we think is going to be the provisional new championship leader after today. Henki Coulter up 9 spots to finish in P6 ahead of Oscar Gutschor, Victor Louis, Mathis Manchot and Charlie Gloom rounding out your top 10. Yanni Bouillet, Devon Hagelin, Marlon Baer, Wouter Bergano, Ava Dorrestein rounds out the top 15. François Delety, Niels Lelor, Milan Marzak, Robert Tabaz, Farid Jalil from last to 20th. Well done to the 277 from Belgium. Panis, Marcus Gloom, Tobias Norman, Maxime Prudent, Clément Masson, Maxime Blanchemin, Roxane Lantinga, Jano Hermans, Angelo Mini, Julian Salvio, Jules Van Hoel, Mirko Wouters and Florent Dierda round out the 33 out of 34 finishers. Alessandro Tedesca, due to the shortcut, demoted to last behind Lucas Horsica and Robbie Buckley. But Sam van der Heyden earned that one on track, becoming the third different X30 Senior A final winner here in 2025.